I'm David Duncan, and I'm a retired mathematics professor. I joined the faculty of the University of Northern Iowa in 1963, and I taught there until 2005 when I retired. So it was 42 plus years that I was at the university. I really did like mathematics, and I kind of observed that as I learned more of it, sometimes I would kind of try to explain things to other people in my class, and I don't know if they always understood what I said, but sometimes they did. And that kind of pleased me when that happened, and so I got to thinking, well, maybe I could be a math teacher. The thing that kind of motivated me is that I had two mathematics teachers myself, whom I just really admired. I had my high school math teacher. His name was Arnold Hermansley, and then when I was in college, when I took calculus, that Glenn Hill was his name, and I just thought he was a marvelous teacher. And I kind of thought, I'd like to be like him. I'd like to do what he does. And so I kind of modeled my teaching both for Mr. Hermansley and Mr. Hill. Usually at the university I would be teaching 3 or 4 classes. And classes don't meet as often as they do in high school. So there's not much time to waste. You have to be sure that you're ready and you come in there fully prepared. So I always kind of prided myself that when I went into the classroom, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I would answer questions, then I'd go on with new material and kind of stage it so that it would come out just right. And I always had a quiz at the end of the hour. I thought that was a good idea. I kept them awake and also let them know what I was likely to be asking them on a test. I always really liked actually teaching in the classroom. I was, sometimes they said I was kind of high energy. Maybe I acted kind of goofy sometimes, but I did enjoy that. And then when I didn't have, when I wasn't in class, that an awful lot of the time was then spent preparing for the next class or grading these quizzes. At a university, you're also involved with, writing for the math education profession and trying to do a little research about things and seeing students. I had long office hours and lots of people would come in and talk about what was troubling them about what I did in class. So basically, most of it revolved around the students. I always like to think that math is kind of the language that ties together all kinds of other disciplines. Even things maybe as diverse as engineering and science and actuary science, where you try to predict risk, like in insurance companies and stuff. Mathematics is the language they use, and that language is then used in other fields. And when I think about mathematics, I think it's a language that is used to describe things and bring order to things. But even in a broader sense, mathematics is used to model things. That a mathematician would say, well, here's a situation, be it in physics or in economics or something, and we have all this data. And what sort of a mathematical model or structure might kind of explain this, or at least might kind of indicate what's happening. And then once you get that language down, sometimes you can make predictions. And if the more closely the mathematics language that you develop is like, or models correctly the situation you're looking at, then the better kind of predictions you can make. And so no matter what the field is you want to go into, you really do need at least 3 years of high school mathematics and maybe 4. And this is at the high school level. Then that is sort of the same advice whether you're actually going to be a mathematician or whether you're going to be in some field that uses math. When you get to college, then it becomes a little more specialized. But because math is such a universal language in all kinds of sciences, both physical and social and human sciences or whatever, you really do need to have a preparation in that.